If you or someone you know is a new business owner, you've probably heard the term LLC, otherwise known as Limited Liability Corporation, sometime before. And for those of you who don't know, an LLC, simply put, is just a specific type of business structure that most new entrepreneurs use when they're looking to start a business. In this video today, I'm going to be giving you guys these 6 simple steps that you need to form an LLC the proper way, using yourself, by yourself, for yourself, with little to no hassle at all. My name is Marvin Francois, and I am super excited to be giving y'all these jewels and gems today. But before I do, if you haven't already, just take a second, take a minute, take an hour out of your day right here, right now, to just go ahead and slap that like button and show this video some love. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Step number 1, choose your state of formation for your LLC. There are benefits to forming your LLC in some of these states that do have business-friendly laws. However, when you come to do your research, you will find out that in some of those same states, like a Nevada, the fees and paperwork associated with getting this done heavily outweigh the pros that come with it. So it would be in your best interest to form your LLC in the state that you reside and plan to do business in. Step number 2, choosing the name for your LLC. Now, one requirement that comes with forming an LLC and naming it is that at the end of whatever name you choose, it does have to include either the abbreviation LLC, or you can put the entire thing written out, Limited Liability Corporation. When it comes to naming your business, there are many industries that the banks consider high risk, where if your business is involved in them, the banks can give you a hard time somewhere down the line if you are looking to get business funding in the future. Now, there are way too many for me to name on this video alone, but what I will give you guys as a quick pro tip is, when it comes to naming your business, try and keep your name for your LLC as general as possible, so that when it comes time for you to go to the banks, they're not necessarily sure what it is that you do on the front end. So for example, I run a credit repair company. However, the name of my business is not called Francois Fixed Credit LLC. The name of my business is called Francois Capital LLC. So now when it comes time for me to go to a bank, even though my business conducts credit repair, my name does not let them know that on the front end. And even on the back end, when they come and ask me what it is that I do, I can tell them that I do business consulting, because credit repair is considered a high risk industry. And if I come to them with a business that's named Francois Credit Fix, I'm automatically gonna get denied for loans. So once again, if you really want to work in favor of this, try to stick to names for your LLC that are as general as possible, right? Things like investments, enterprises, consultations, right? Things that won't raise a red flag when it comes time for you to start working with the banks. Also, another important pro tip when it comes time for you to name your LLC, to double check and make sure that the name you plan on choosing hasn't already been used by another business owner. You can double check and search your LLC name in your state database using the Secretary of State website to make sure nobody else has that business name, so you can use it for yourself. Step number 3, choosing a registered agent. So when it comes time for you to put your LLC together, you will need to choose a registered agent for your business. And simply put, a registered agent is just an appointed contact that can send and or receive legal papers on your business's behalf. Now, personally, I would recommend for you guys to be your own registered agent for your business. I don't think it's necessary as a new business owner to go and pay someone X amount of dollars every single year to receive legal paperwork on your behalf. Unless you plan on getting sued from left and right, I would recommend you become your own registered agent instead of having to hire someone to be a middleman for your business. Step number 4, file your formation documents. To officially create your LLC, you will need to file formation documents, otherwise known as your articles of organization. Now, to do this, you can go through your Secretary of State website to file your articles of organization, but personally, I would recommend that you guys use a website that's called inkfile.com. I'll repeat that again, inkfile.com. Just another quick pro tip for any and everybody that's watching this. Never, ever, 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 ever use LegalZoom to create an LLC ever again. Well, if you've never done it, you couldn't do it again. But if you haven't done it, don't do it. And if you did it, don't do it again, because then if you do it, you might do. Don't use LegalZoom. That's my pro tip for you guys. Do not use LegalZoom. The reason why I tell you guys not to use LegalZoom is because although it is one of the more popular known websites when it comes time to create an LLC, LegalZoom is also known for literally knocking people over the head with absurd prices and crazy fees for things that when it comes to an LLC, you why can't I speak English today? Damn, I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm gonna leave this in the video. LegalZoom is known to knock people over the head for prices and fees for things that when it comes to forming an LLC, you do not have to pay for. They'll charge you to make an EIN and an operating agreement, two things of which you can get for absolutely free. Do not use LegalZoom. The only part of forming your LLC that you will have to pay for is your articles of organization, and the fee for that varies depending on what state you are forming your LLC in. So once again, I personally recommend that you use InkFile. You can use the Secretary of State website. However, I personally feel as if InkFile is a much more easier and seamless process for newer business owners who are just looking to get started for their first time creating an LLC. InkFile, InkFile, InkFile. Also, the dope thing about InkFile as compared to LegalZoom, there are no hidden fees. They are only going to charge you for what you would normally get charged for to put an LLC together, which is your articles of organization. That's it. No added on fees, no nothing. Step number 5, getting an EIN. So to get an EIN, all you have to do is head over to the irs.gov website and you can get one for absolutely free at no cost. And the process to fill out the form to get your EIN is literally only 10 minutes. The same information that you used on InkFile, if you decide to use it, or the Secretary of State website, if you decide to go that route, is the same exact information that you're going to plug in on irs.gov to get your EIN. Please be careful to make sure you do not mismatch information. Don't put one address on InkFile to get your articles of organization and they use a totally different address on irs.gov to get your EIN. Make sure everything is absolutely symmetrical and that the same info you put on one platform is the same you put on the other. And congratulations, you now have your LLC. And step number 6, getting your operating agreement. So simply put, for those of you who may or may not know, an operating agreement just outlines the ownership terms and membership roles within your LLC. In my personal opinion, I think that this is one of the more least important parts of forming an LLC because depending on what state you're doing it in, some states don't require it. And even the states that do, very rarely will you ever get asked for your operating agreement. However, you should have it on hand just in case. And to put one together, it's very simple. You can literally Google operating agreement template. I can't. My tongue is not a friend of mine today, ladies and gentlemen. Operating agreement template. You can Google that and find literally hundreds of different websites that will give you the same exact template that you can just plug in all your information that you put to get your EIN and your articles of organization and get it in literally seconds for absolutely free. So once you have your state of formation, you have your registered agent, you have the name of your LLC, the EIN, the operating agreement, the articles of organization. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how else to tell you this, but congratulations. You now have your first LLC. I sincerely do hope that this video was very helpful to you and it gave you a lot of value and knowledge. If you did, please do not forget, if you haven't already, to take a second, take a minute, take an hour out of your day right here, right now, to just go ahead and slap that like button and show this video some love. It really does help a lot with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing the video out there so more and more people can see it. And also, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe for brand new videos each and every single Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to be giving you guys more jewels and gems on everything entrepreneurship and financial literacy. But as always, I'm Marvin Francois. Pineapple does not go on pizza. Y'all have been good. I've been great. This has been amazing. And as always, thank you and God bless. Peace.